All right. Good morning, good evening, and good day. My name is Scott Siller. I'm from the Gunpla Network. And once again, you've joined me and a special guest for Gunpla Insider. As before, it's always been where we get to meet a builder, someone who we know has had success, whether it be GBWC success or just as we see them, they build and we just go, holy cow, that's amazing. So this evening, we've got Benny.
Hello.
Hello, Benny. How are you today?
I'm all right.
Oh, sorry, tonight, actually. Yeah. So, Benny, you're best known for three GBWC Australia trophies.
Yep.
How old are you, Benny?
I'm 15.
15 years old. Still in high school. Still live at home with your parents. You have two Junior B golds.
Yep.
And a Junior A. What was the one you got this year?
The Open A third place.
Sorry, Open A. Yes. Okay, stepping up into the big league. Look out, fellas. So, you're at high school. You're 15 Wiley Parks, where you live.
Yep.
Sydney Secondary College, Balmain. I think I asked you before, like, as far as Gunpla goes, do you watch much anime? Does that come into your world? Or how does that work for you?
I don't really watch much anime at all. The one I've really watched is like Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball series.
Yeah.
And yeah, honestly, that's like my favorite anime because that's really the one that I've been keeping track of, like since the very first series all the way up to now.
Right. So no Gundam at all.
Yeah.
Wow, not even Build Divers.
No.
I thought maybe it might make more sense to you just being a bit younger, because it makes no bloody sense to anybody else. How would you describe your building? I looked through it and I sort of saw, we're going to have a look at some of your Instagram stuff later, and I see a pretty clean type builder, not much of a weatherer, but it's easy just to say you're clean. You know, some of us are technical, some of us are, we're clean because we're lazy. So how would you describe your building style?
Honestly, most of my building styles are like pretty rushed. Like,
yeah, well, this one you put in this year, 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days worth of work.
Dude, you're killing us. But anyhow, we'll have a look at that later. Yep.
My 2016 one took around a week, and my 2017 one also took around a week.
Oh, dude, you've got the time management down to a T. Yeah, there's Josh, if you're watching, 2 years on that Zeta thing. Jeez, anyhow. But okay, that's pretty good, hey? You still enjoy it though, right? You're not one of those people who just rushes it and gets it done. When you sit back, what are you thinking when you're like, done?
I just love watching how the models can go from like sheets of plastic from the sprues all the way up to like some 3D model. To me, it's just like really satisfying to see.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I mean, even for those of us that still just, do you still just pick up a HG and just sort of snap it up on a Friday night and just go, that was all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you can't do that, you're kind of missing out of it, eh? Like, I appreciate guys that build hard and guys that build great, but yeah, I think sometimes you just got to snap something up, and it's just kind of like junk food.
Yeah. It's like just every once in a while, just build something like a straight build, just to get your mind out of like needing to like paint everything. Have it like scribed.
Yeah. Are you a big scriber?
Not really. I've only like just got started on scribing.
Right. Okay. Well, look out. That'll be something you'll obviously add to. So that means next year it'll probably take you like 5 days?
Probably.
Because you'll have to spend a couple of days scribing. Oh God. All right. Look, I think we're going to have a look at your Instagram, because it really does sort of tell a story. The beauty, it was a bit of a pain getting some of the photos, so I thought we'll just use that. And what's good about it is it sort of shows a chronology of what Benny's been up to for, I think it goes back as far as 2014, which sort of seems to where you kind of like discovered Gunpla, and from there just went ballistic. So just let me, I'm still a bit of a noob at this, so we'll just get a few things going here. Okay, so you can see your trophies there, can you?
Yep.
So tell me the story. Tell us where this picture is taken, And just a little bit about the moment when you're sort of standing back and looking at these.
This picture was taken right after I came back from Japan for GBWC.
Yep.
And like when I just had the two trophies there, and like I took a step back, took a look at it for like a couple of minutes. It's like, wow, I really like achieved something. It's like, hasn't really been done in Australia.
Oh, right. What's the trophy on the right? Because we know the one on the left is the gold from the Junior B that you got here in Australia.
Yep. The one on the right is the special award by Bandai Namco.
Right.
So I got that at the GWC ceremony in Japan.
Right. So what do you think is the criteria for someone to receive that award?
I'm honestly not quite sure about that award, but I think I remember them saying that my model is really fit for something that they can use in the game as like a villain character or something like that.
That's the Namco bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Cool. And you've got, I guess, like Kawaguchi's signature on the gold, and on the sort of plaque thing with the picture, is that his signature there again?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. He just seems to be this eternal figure that's just, he's really part of our world, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's just everything to us. He's our Buddha or whatever. Let's have a bit of, what I'm going to do is we're going to get into the Wayback Time Machine. What have we got here?
2014.
This is my first Gundam model I built. Wowzers. So do you remember doing that?
Yeah, I remember buying the model kit and then just going straight home and building it.
What, in like 20 minutes?
Nah. I think when I first started, this RG RX-78 took me around like 2 days or so. 3 days.
Yeah, first kit, RG, just dive on in.
Yeah.
So who owns the Hyakushiki in the background?
Oh, that's my brother's one.
Oh, so would your brother have been a fairly big influence on as to why you're into Gunpla?
Yeah, that RX-78 is actually a birthday gift.
Oh, what a cool brother.
Really early birthday gift.
Yeah, cool. That is so good. So good. So we'll just kind of flick through a few and just have a bit of look at It's almost like seeing Benny be born, you know. Oh, look at these beautiful baby photos of Benny and his unicorn and stuff like that. It's so cool. And we just sort of go through, and I've got a Kshatriya. Did you enjoy the Kshatriya?
Yeah, it was a fun build. I love how like the model was massive.
That's the repair there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the non-repair. Yeah, that's actually why I built my third cabinet up the other day, because I've got a Kshatriya ready to be built up, and I've already got a bunch of other unicorn stuff. So I mean, between that and a Nuvo car and a PG Mark II, I've got to make some room, man. Yeah, so I'll flick up. Oh, a Nightingale. Did you build this Nightingale?
Yeah, it's built.
Is it in here somewhere?
I think it's a lot further up. It kind of became part of a backlog.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll flick through. Oh, look at you, Benny. You've been busy. Oh, this is pretty interesting. What's the Batman bear in A-Dog?
Yeah, my brother actually painted that one for his friend's birthday.
Man, your brother sounds like the raddest dude. Has he had much success? Like, is he a GBWC type guy? Or?
Nah, he rarely builds. He just builds like every once in a couple of years or so.
Right, there's your Nightingale there.
Yeah.
What's your opinion of the Nightingale? It cops a lot of flack.
Yeah, I just like how bulky it looks, and like it really sticks out, especially on the shelf.
You don't mind the doodle thing that everybody seems to pick on for whatever reason. It's not that big a deal, is it? So this would be probably one of your earlier kind of shinier paint jobs, like a Kandu and a HG Sazabi.
That HG Sazabi is actually my third painted model. Right. And Perfect Gundam 3 is my second. If you go down a bit more, you can find a Legolas somewhere.
Okay, you pointed out when you see it. Still going.
think it's might be a bit higher. I think I missed it.
It's all right. Look, we'll move on. We'll go back up to the thing. I want to sort of go up. Oh, the new, yeah. So you've painted all these, or did you use the decals?
I used the decals.
They look pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Like sitting up in a cabinet somewhere, they don't look too bad.
Yeah.
We might move up and sort of focus a bit more on some of your first wins. This is where it all sort of began for you, right? This is the beginning of the Barbatos. Now, you were telling me before that the Barbatos originally was for some other comp, but it was maybe kind of where you really triggered. So can you tell us a little bit about this build and why it was actually built?
This build was originally done for the Barbatos build challenge in the Gunpla Builders Australia page.
Right. And as part of that, was there did you like win the comp, or was it just something that you kind of did well and felt, it helped you sort of get your feet a bit?
I didn't really win anything, but I think they did mention me. They did mention me about this model.
Yeah, right. Right. So you took that, and that was pretty much how it finished. Yep. And then, so what time of the year was that?
That was around January.
Right. And GBWC, I think that time would have been around about August, September, yeah. Was it? I think
it would have been around August.
Yeah, so August, September. I think it's just come a bit closer. So,
yep.
So come January, you decided I'm going to do something with this. Tell us a little bit about the sort of the stages you went through to sort of, present it as something that little step above, or quite a large step above, to be honest.
I was just like, I just took apart the model, started experimenting with like different colors. I changed up the gold. I changed up the chest plate to like a purple color.
Oh yeah, we can see that there.
Yeah. And I had some skulls, like these skulls, and then I tried adding them on. Like, eventually I changed the shoulders to the fourth form, I think it was.
Right.
So it looks better. It won't look like it's out of place. So I think if you go up a bit more, you can see an image of its like new shoulders and new arms.
Yeah, that's sort of hidden behind.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not going to do it. Okay. So this is your the base there is pretty interesting. You got some lighting effect in the base.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you do that?
It was just made out of foam and then stuck it onto like a clear base and painted it.
Right.
It was actually, I got inspired to make that base from seeing Lance's wing Gundam.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then, so this is the one that you obviously took to Japan. So do you want to talk us just a little bit through, I guess, you had to deal with, did you have to take your time off school, just the general concept of did you have to spend $1 in the week and a half or so that you were away, and just the general, give us some insight into what it's like to be 15 and whisked around Tokyo because of your modeling.
Around that time, I think I was 13 or so, or 14.
Yep.
And I didn't really skip school at all because it was during the end of it was the last day of school.
All right.
So I kind of just finished school for that year and went straight to Japan.
Yeah, right. And tell us about the experience. So you get off a plane. Did you go with your mum or your dad, or?
I went with my brother.
I was going to say you better have taken your brother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what was the sort of the experience? You get off the plane, you get met by someone, and sort of talk us through if you can, through the couple of days of just running around and until you wave your flag and, it's like, whoa, it's already over. How was that week for you?
It was actually pretty fun. Like, as soon as you get off the plane, I met up with Lance. because that was the year he won. And then we took a monorail all the way towards Odaiba, which is where our hotel is. And at Odaiba, we met up with Frederick, which is the Bandai representative for Australia.
Yeah.
And he kind of just set us up and took us to our hotel. But I think on day one, we went there a bit too early because we arrived at 5 a.m. and check-in time was 3 p.m.
Oh, no, yeah, no, that's what that's like.
Me, my brother, and Lance, we just went around Akihabara for the whole entire day.
Oh, really? And did you kind of did you go shopping and do all the stuff everybody does when they're in Akihabara, or did you kind of just kind of hover around waiting for sort of 3 o'clock?
We went around, we grabbed some breakfast first.
Yep.
And then I think we went to Yellow Submarine was the first stop.
Yeah.
And I bought 2 God hands there. Right
yeah. Yeah. Did you find they would only sell you 2?
Yeah. 2 was the maximum you can buy.
Yeah, I mean I didn't really understand it, and I kind of went to, I think it was you're one of the ones sort of in there, and I'm like, I need 3 of these, and he's like, 1. I was like, what? It was 1, and I had to go to the store and buy one for a friend, and then I gave up. So someone got it there. Yeah, okay. And so then you finally get to your hotel, and maybe share with us a little bit about did you have your kit with you?
Yeah. I had the kit with me the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I think when we were going around Akihabara, we left our luggages at the hotel for the waiting.
Were you nervous, with your kit sort of not near you? And
yeah, well, I think with the kit, I was actually hanging on to it for the whole entire day.
Yeah, I mean, this is not like when we all came to Sydney and shoved all our stuff in boxes and we sat around at the front. You would have had this nice Pelican case with all the foam inserts, and the guys would have hooked you up and said, "This is what you need to do," right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, when did the actual, taking your kid in and everything, when did that start? Maybe talk us through, because I know, when I spoke to a few people about. There's all the stories of this guy was so nervous. And I was like, I'm just going to, when I went to Sydney, I was like, I'm only there just to be part of the fun. But even then, I was setting my little thing up and I was like, little bit of shakes and stuff. And there was a couple of guys near me that were shaking. It was just, so for you there in Tokyo with your brother, was anybody allowed to go into the room with you when you were setting up?
Oh, he was, yeah.
Yeah. And was he just were you super good? Because you're pretty calm, Benny, let's be honest. Did you just kind of pop it down and go, well, I'll see you later? Or how was it for you?
Yeah, I kind of just took it out of the box, set it up, and that's it.
Yeah, good on you.
My trip was so simple compared to a lot of other people's. So kind of took me I think 10 minutes at most. And they said once you finish setting up, you can just go around, do whatever.
Right.
So right after I finished setting up, I just walked right out.
Yeah, and this was so before it was Gundam. So it was just Gundam Front back then, was it?
Yeah, it was still Gundam Front back then.
Yeah. From your experience, because you've been at Gundam Front and now Gundam Base Tokyo, how different is the 2 buildings and the environments and everything inside?
Oh man, the differences are actually pretty massive. In Gundam Front Tokyo, when you go inside, it's a hallway, and then at the left there's all these kits and everything with the display cases, and then I call it to the right there'll be all the sales area, the cashiers, and then there'll be another hallway which brings you to a dome, which has I forgot what it's called.
It's got was it the G Dome or something?
Yeah, it's the G
Dome. The big projection and stuff on it, and all those movies that you'll only ever see there and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then after that, there's another door, which brings you to the actual stage where you can see the 1:1 scale Freedom.
Oh wow, cool. So that's Gundam Front. I went to Gundam Base this year, so I have a bit more understanding. It sounds a little different. It sounds like Gundam Base is more open plan, and they've sort of just pushed everything out, and it's it's all along the walls. They've got the area sort of more central. They got the build spaces and stuff now. So, which one did you prefer? Because everybody usually has their own preference.
I prefer the new one, the new Gundam base look. How it's like a lot more open and everything.
It's you kind of I found myself walking sort of like in zigzags all the time. I was really new because I only started building like 2 days before Christmas last year, and then like 2 months later I'm there and I was going crazy. But you sort of think, well, I'll just walk in, I'll walk around. But next thing you walk over there because something catches your eye. There's like squirrels everywhere. So the thing, hey, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And so then they you set your stuff up. And that was on a Friday or something, and then the next day
on Saturday morning around 10 a.m. or so.
Yep. And so when does it gets judged on that day, or when do you sort of work out what's going down?
The day you set up is the day it's judged. So the actual ceremony I think was around 3 o'clock. Yeah, around 3 o'clock or so.
Right. How many entries do you recall roughly were there for that?
It was actually quite a bit. I think there were like, can't remember.
A couple of hundred, would you say, or more or less?
Or in like the Australia one or the one in Japan?
No, the one in Japan, that final that you're at.
That one there wasn't very much because it was only like the finalists from each country.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, of course.
I think there was around 12 open or so. 12, 14 open. And like 10 juniors.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and so you get through all that, and then did you for your that was you got the prize for the Namco prize? Were you brought up on stage to get that, or?
Yeah, I was brought up on stage.
Oh wow! How did you deal with that in front of? What size was the crowd? Because it was like people in there, not just 15 dudes and a judge. It's a pretty big deal, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was like all these Bandai people. They were like these big cameras as well.
Oh right, because it was all live and everything. Like at that point, the whole world's watching Benny.
Yeah. Like I was so surprised. Like just suddenly they called up like Australia juniors, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, right. And so, how did you go over there? Do you know what result you got when you were over there?
I think in 2016, I came 7th.
Right. Yep. Do you know what you did in 2017?
In 2017, I came, I think it was 5th, and I was 5 points away from going to 3rd.
Oh, that's not very much.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's intense, isn't it? So close. It's like what, like I don't know, it's a tiny bit of panel lining, or just even the way you tilted it on the the knee a bit higher, or just something tiny. Just
it was mainly on the paint job because of the grazes. All the grazes are just primed. There's nothing done to it.
Oh right,
it's just primed. That's why there's all these like Prime Fest 2017 stuff like that going on in the group.
Right. Oh, okay. All right, let's have a quick look at that since we're sort of find that guy. So you're talking about this fella here.
Yeah.
It's a sort of, I guess there's obviously a theme, that you got with the sort of the darker souls, so to speak. I'm not at all aware of what your kind of backstory to this is. Can you fill us in on, what the backstory is for this dio? Is it do you look at it as a diorama, or is it?
To me, it's kind of like just one thing. It doesn't really seem like a true diorama to me.
I mean, the greys at the bottom are just kind of like part of a base, aren't they? Just detail on the base.
Yeah, originally the grazes are meant to be like warriors that have tried to fight the Barbatos and has lost, and so it became like stones that decorate the throne itself.
Yeah, right. What is this? The same one you took in 2016?
That's the 2017 one. It's different.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was getting really confused there for a sec. I'm gonna goose myself. Yeah. And Oh, so you're talking about this is where you kind of lost points on the grazers
Yeah,
there.
because it was just prime. There wasn't any like shading or washes on it.
Right. But I guess that's what you were shooting for, right? Just that kind of concretey cement type stone. But yeah.
Kinda, but I did run out of time for this guy.
Yeah, you did only leave yourself like 5 days to
Yeah.
do it. So lesson learnt, dude. And this is that's your other one. So yeah, might be able to flick through. So obviously you get in a bit of other stuff. These little miniatures that you've got here, is that just things that you do because you enjoy them, or do you do a bit of gaming, or?
I paint these Warhammer figures because I really enjoy painting them. These are actually what I started off way before Gunpla.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you ever played?
Yeah, I have played the actual Warhammer game a couple of times.
Yeah, cool. What's she got going on? Oh, so this would be 2017. There's a special package there. Look at that. I'll even give you a sticker to stick on the side.
Yeah.
Man, that is crazy, eh? That is so good. So you've been one of those fortunate souls that got to see the RX-78 and you got to see the unicorn. Did you see the unicorn do its night routine?
Yeah, at the GBWC, they usually have like a night show thing. So they kind of bring out the whole group outside just so you can see the light show.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I've only ever seen video of it. There's you and our mate Kieran. So that was the year that Kieran got to go with you.
Yeah.
And you're like, bro, these are where the noodles are. Bro, this is how you catch a bus. And showing him all the ropes. Just relax, Kieran. Jeez, how hard is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so good, hey? How do you think Kieran fared that year? Was he... I mean, he's a pretty cool customer, but do you think he had a really good time, or do you think he kind of walked away a bit like, "Phew, that was heavy"?
I don't think I stayed around with Kieran as long as I did with Lance.
All right. So we're getting pretty close. This is this year. I mentioned the other day, like your little bucket. Every time I was looking at this thing, all I could look at was the bloody bucket in the corner of the water sort of thing. The first thing when I saw this was how all the trees are bending back because of all the blasts and stuff. And there's something about building it and showing movement and showing motion, just showing that snapshot. And it's those little things that just absolutely smashed it. Tell us a bit about this build, mate. Like 3 days. What are the steps you go through to get this? So you're talking like runners in a box?
This one was kind of like the base was all scratch except for like the trees and the little bushes that are on the left side of it.
Yeah.
So on day one of this model, I just cut out the foam, shaped it into what I wanted, and then I added the base layer to the base itself, which is like the some MIG products,
pigments and different stuff like that, and whatever.
Yeah. Then I waited for that to dry, and then I added the first layer of water, the resin of water.
Yeah. So did you have any troubles with resin? Because we know of one guy that had some trouble with resin.
Not at all.
Of course, you didn't want to pour what's he talking about? I don't know, it looked like about 8 liters or something.
Yeah.
Lance was shooting for. Holy cow. The resin thing still seems like kind of black magic to a lot of us. What's the general concept? How do you kind of pour it in and make it look like, the surface is really kind of in motion? What's the go?
At the very last layer, I actually just used like a hairdryer and was blowing it towards the side, so all the water starts all the resin starts to ripple.
Oh wow! So over what period of time does it sort of start to set, and you can pull the hairdryer off and think that's going to be what it's going to finish up like?
It took around 10 minutes.
Far out.
And then after it did fall a bit, so I had to bring out the hairdryer again and go for another run.
Yeah, right. That's insane. Yeah. And did you build a little hut?
Yeah, the hut was all handmade.
Oh, wow. 3 days. And so at the beginning of that 3 days, was this mobile suit runners in a box?
No, it was already built, and I had it built a while ago.
Yep.
for a while, meaning like a day ago, like a day before I started the base.
Oh, so it took you 4 days.
Pretty much.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, it's totally different.
But like in total, in hours, took 3 days.
Yeah. Right. That's crazy. Cool. Is there anything you would have done different? Is there anything you kind of cut corners on this year? You're sort of like, well, I've only got 3 days. I'll just smash it out.
Or if I had a bit more time, like right under the Gundam, probably would have made like a small crater.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks like it's landing there.
Yeah, cool. And then we go up and there's a nice little close up of the guy. So what's the base kit here?
It's the dual Gundam.
Right.
Full armor dual Gundam.
Did you do much work on it? Any sort of scribing or adding of parts or any that sort of business to this one?
I actually did do some scribing, but then I didn't realize it was covered by the outer armor. So I kind of wasted time on that.
Oh, bummer. Oh, well, it was a good lesson, I suppose.
Yeah.
Holy cow. And then there it is there. Third. Unreal, eh? So would you say that when you went to Japan, would you say 2016, 2017, was there one that you kind of preferred more? Like obviously the first one was the first one was the first time you went, it was all very exciting. And then your second one was like, well, I know what I'm doing. I can really kind of slide into this and have a really great time. Give us an idea of sort of, how you feel about that.
I feel like I like the second year a lot more because I knew what I was doing. Like I wasn't like really lost and felt like I did something wrong and stuff like that. And I knew quite a few of the Bandai staff at the time, so I can just go talk to them.
Right.
As well.
Yeah, awesome. And like the second year, like the first year, you obviously had that sort of half a day because you got to town so early and you went around shopping at Akihabara. Did you do much of that the second time round and maybe have a little more planning and understanding of what you're after, going by like 10 PG Australias or something crazy?
No, I don't. When I go to Japan for the GBWC, I didn't really buy much kits at all. I think I just noobed out on 2016 and bought a bunch of kits, but it was all like Expo, or not Expo, it was Gundam Front exclusive kits. That took up most of my luggage. My 2017, I spent most of my money on tools, stuff like that.
Oh, you're a wise man. No doubt about it. Yeah. So what's the plan? What's the plans, Benny? I mean, you're giving it a couple of good years, or you're giving it 3 good years. What's the plan? Is this something you think you're going to really keep pushing out? Do you feel that there might be other aspects of the industry? Because I know a little bit to do with Ryan and Hobbyco and things like that. When you're studying at school, do you have goals, or do you think modelling is something that's going to always be there and you won't sort of push it away?
Modeling is always I reckon modeling is going to be around for me, like for a long time, because I am going to do, one of my courses is design technology. So it's like all about 3D modeling, like a physical model.
Yeah.
So I can use Gunpla for just something I'm more used to.
Yeah, it's a familiar sort of concept and the shapes and sizes and things that you work with. And what's your plan for GBWC then? Like, are you getting hungrier and hungrier and trying to push and push and push? Or, I mean, you don't push because you give yourself 4 days, 5 days max. What's the go? Are you sort of thinking this? Well, not this year, but leading up. Have you got big plans, or do you just sit around for 9 months and then something pops up?
Well, I just sit around and then it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then I've managed to pull it off in like a couple of days.
Or you see like a post from like Ryan or Scott that says 90 days or like 30 days to GBWC, and you're like, damn, I suppose I better knock something up, kind of thing.
Yeah, like when I saw the 30 days, I'm like, okay, I really got to think of it. And And then suddenly I'm like procrastinating, and then all of a sudden I just see 7 days left to like GBWC. I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah.
gotta really get started now.
So for 2019, do you honestly not think about it? Are you not thinking about stuff already? Because every single person that was anywhere within, touching the white chalk walked out of Smash with ideas. If not then on the plane home, do you honestly say you're not thinking about it at all until something just pops up?
Yeah, like right after GBWC, I just kind of want to take a break. Like, don't want to think about the Gunpla at all. So yeah,
Because that solid 5 days of hard work.
yeah.
Oh, dude, you crack me up. All right. Look, I just think, it is really amazing what we get with Gunpla. Obviously, we're modeling all over, but Gunpla is where I'm focused. The different ages and styles and everything that we get from the Australian community is obviously where I've sort of paid my attention of late, and the people I've met. And to see someone of your age, someone that's so relaxed and calm, and you're such a good young ambassador. And I think if you continue this attitude and this, it must be kind of like a natural just flow for you. Something just comes up, and regardless of how long it takes, Kawaguchi likes your work, and that's pretty good. So we might just hit on. Do you have some? Oh, we've hit your Instagram before. So just tell us what your Instagram is.
Well, my Instagram is just like a page I use to show what I've been doing.
Yeah. What's your handle in case people want to follow along? Is it that Lazarek?
Yeah, that's right.
So LAZAEREK, and people can go back and they can see that for themselves as we were browsing through it before. Do you have any other social media that people can follow along on? If
I have a Facebook page. It's called Benny Builds Gunpla. If you search it up, you should be able to find it.
Awesome. Straight shooter. That's what I like. And yeah, mate, I really thank you for your time tonight. Thanks for coming along. It's really good to see some juniors. Some of you guys are a little bit shy, a little bit quiet, but I can get you talking. So if you know anybody else, Jean-Luc, if you're out there, dude, step up and we'll have a chat about, what it's like to be a junior, because it's all right for us. We're all a bit sort of, yeah, it's all good, but you guys, you're right in the midst of it, and you've got so much ahead of you. So, Benny, thank you, mate. Thank you for taking the time out this evening, and we wish you all the best in your future Gunpla journey.
Thank you.
All right, Benny. Take it easy, brother.
You too.